All right, moment of truth. So we are actually not going to use a V stack. We are going to use a Z stack because we want to stack things on top of each other. And I'm going to pass here the alignment to be top. Okay, very good. So at this point here, because it's Z index, anything that I put on top, it's going to be at the bottom, meaning the first thing I add here is going to be at the bottom, and the next thing is going to be the top of that. So check this out. Because I have a map view done, I can come down here and say map view. I want this to be, of course, the first thing that is shown, meaning it's going to be to the back. Passed in map view, of course, is going to require us to pass data. The data we're going to pass is just data, this one here, which is going to be passed through as a property, just like that. Let's save this and see what's going to happen. I'm going to run this. Now, if we go to our details, if all goes well, we should be able to see a map. And just like that, we have a map and it says exactly where this is. If you click on this, it gives us this magnitude 2.7. And that's the title, which are all of these things that we have added inside of our annotation. Wow, how cool is that, right? Because we say the title has to be place name, which is this one. And the subtitle is going to be the magnitude and followed by the actual magnitude. Just like that, we have a fairly working application. So click on this one, the address is changing, and look at this. All of this, actually, the clicking and everything, it's given to us because we are using a representable UI view, representable here, and creating a map view. Look at that, all these behaviors. Very cool. This is wonderful. Of course, there are things we need to do here, but you can see that our map is working, and that is actually motive for celebration. But not yet. We still have stuff to do. So one important thing we can do here, let me comment this one out. Let's add the edges, ignore save all here. So that way, hopefully we can see the whole map covering the whole screen. Very good. That's very nice. All right. And we are now going to work on piling up other information on top of our map. So this is easy now because we have all the information anyway. So it's just a matter of customizing things. So first of all, let me add a V stack inside here. Let's say V stack. And I'm going to align this to center. The spacing about 6 and content, I'll just not even going to use that. All right. So I'm going to add a text. And this text here would have data.properties.mag like this. Of course, we're going to have an issue because magnitude, we know now it is a string. So we need to wrap it on a string like this. And I'm going to make this font too large, title, so pretty big. And then let me add another text right there. This one, I'm going to data properties again. I'm going to go get place. Let's save this and run just to see what is going to happen. Very good. So you can see because we used Z-stack, they are piling up there on top. Very cool. Look at that. This is in Texas. That's 2.6, so not too bad. About this one here, 4.8, that is in Chile. They always get those big ones. All right, there we go. So that is working perfectly. And what I can also do inside of this V-stack here, I can add a nice background by using a clip shape. And in this case here, for our shape, I'm going to add a rectangle. Notice there's more than just circle for shapes. And let me add the frame width. I'm just going to make it nil. So whenever you want to make sure that the width of something will take place within the actual device, just pass it a nil. Height as well. Say height is going to be a nil like this. Just going to take enough space that it needs. Padding, I want all to be about 20. And I'm going to give a background, color green, give a shadow of about 9, corner radius, also about 9, and I want to give it opacity because this is going to be on top, so I don't want it to disrupt the view, about 0.8. Okay, let's go ahead and run. Okay, click, look at that, see? That looks really nice. Click on this one. It also looks very nice. You can play with it. It moves nicely. And we still have this working. It shows magnitude there, but it's not necessary really because everything is showing at the top here. But in any case, we are adding all these properties because at this point, you can always decide whether you want to remove or adding more. All right, there we go, folks. We have our Quakes app working perfectly here, folks. Very, very exciting. This one is Carlsberg Ridge, somewhere in the Indian Ocean. Wow. There we go. And just like that, we have a full-fledged Quakes application here. Now, you learned a lot. At this point, you should be able to do, as I like to say, a lot of damage, not the actual damage, but a lot of things that you can actually do now with SwiftUI. I hope you're seeing the things you can do with SwiftUI. I mean, this is just scratching the surface, but you can go ahead and do all sort of things, all sort of applications at this point, because you know how to customize these views, you know how to parse data from APIs. I mean, you know enough to make, I would say, even 80% of applications out there at this point, right? Because most applications are just managing data, really. And so you know how to do that now. So I invite you to go and find other JSON APIs you can find online. You can just do a quick Google search, you can find a lot of them, and start playing around and start creating apps using this awesome framework, SwiftUI. Congratulations if you got to this point. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next.